How two popular restaurants on the Suncoast plan to recover from red tide losses.
Plus, the new center that small business owners can go to get help if they've been affected by red tide.
And we'll take you to the Longboat Key beach access point that will be closed because of a beach renourishment project. Your Suncoast News starts now.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 6.
Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thanks for joining us. Topping our news at 6, while red tide conditions seem to be improving, businesses are still struggling to get by during this ongoing outbreak.
Sales in some places have dropped so much, business owners in Venice are asking their landlords for help with the rent. ABC 7's Rebecca Fernandez joins us live now from outside of a popular Venice restaurant with a closer look at their pleas for help. Rebecca?
Scott, Jacqueline, well, as you can see behind me, Sharky's on the Pier is pretty empty, and their owners say it's been this way since June.
Definitely the worst when you consider the duration of the red tide. Our sales in July were down about 60%, August probably close to 70%. And we anticipate that decline to stay down for September and October as well.
Both Sharky's and its sister restaurant, Finn's, have been victims of this toxic algae outbreak. They've lost thousands of dollars in sales just this summer. Both properties are negotiating a break in rent with the landlord, which just happens to be the city of Venice.
There is a clause specifically stated for red tide that if red tide were to affect the business materially for over a 30-day period, Sharky's can request a rent reduction, or I guess a rent adjustment would be the proper way to put it.
The rent reduction clause has been part of the lease between the City of Venice and the Venice Pier Group since its opening in 1987.
The fact that we've never really had to use that clause for the 31 years we've been around is pretty remarkable, but it just also goes to show you how bad it has been this year.
But these two restaurants aren't the only ones hit hard by red tide. Almost all businesses in the city of Venice have suffered as well. However, of the 45 businesses I spoke to today, those two were the only ones that had that clause in their lease agreements.
This is a little eye-opener for all of us. So, yeah, my business has suffered without a doubt. So what we do is we spend and we load up and we get ready for the oncoming season. Even now, I've let a lot of my inventory run low because you don't want to be carrying the service on that debt that you've re-upped on your shop.
Most of these business owners told me that they never thought they'd be so affected by red tide because they weren't on the beach directly. But they now know moving forward, they'll have to renegotiate their leases. Live in Venice, Rebecca Fernandez, ABC 7, your Suncoast News. Back to you guys.
Rebecca, thank you. And less than an hour ago, Manatee County announcing that the U.S. Small Business Administration will be opening up a center in Holmes Beach to help businesses impacted by red tide apply for disaster loans. That temporary center will open Friday at the Island Branch Library. On its first day of operation, it will be open at 11 a.m. Other weekday hours in the future will be Monday through Friday, 9 to 6. The center will also be open Saturdays from 10 to 2. It will operate until further notice. And for more information on the Small Business Administration's disaster loans and how you can qualify, go to our website, look for this story, mysuncoast.com.
FEMA is giving us more insight to the steps they took following Hurricane Irma that will help the state recover from natural disasters in the future. And the days after Irma hit, experts from FEMA and other federal agencies formed the Interagency Recovery Coordination Group, which allowed them access to new technologies to help resolve hurricane-related issues. One example is in Putnam County in North Florida. The IRC used a web-based software program to find out why a road in Palatka keeps flooding. Now they'll be getting a piece of a $1 million grant for a temporary solution in that area.
Well, Bob Harrigan has got the new numbers, report from Florida Fish and Wildlife on our red tide outbreak, and it looks pretty promising today, Bob.
Yeah, we have an article posted on mysuncoast.com as well, or on our Facebook. You can get the link there. But the good news is that the red tide numbers have come down, but it's still there. That's the bad news. As far as the high concentrations go, which at one point lit up Sarasota and parts of Manatee County, are gone. There are no high concentrations reported in this midweek report in those counties. However, in Charlotte County, just there at the border of Sarasota, and Charlotte. There is one area reporting high concentrations and another just off of Pinellas County, just to the west of Egmont Key. So in Manatee County, looking a lot better in Anna Maria. In fact, very low concentrations there. Still fairly moderate there at Big Pass and New Pass in Sarasota and along Siesta Key. So maybe Gordon did have a little impact. I think more so the east winds that we've been seeing lately, blowing the harmful impacts at least offshore. You can see a line of pretty big showers. Despite the presence of dry air in place, we're still getting some storms as expected, and especially from Siesta Key southward through Osprey, Gulf Gate area, down into Venice and Nokomis. This is moving pretty quickly. Should be off Siesta Key in the next half hour as it makes its way to the west right now, but quite a bit of lightning occurring from Venice northward through Nokomis and into Palmer Ranch area. You can see near Gulf Gate Estates getting some pretty heavy rainfall near Beneva Road, US 41, Point of Rocks, coming down heavy now at the village of Siesta Key, but as I mentioned, wait about a half hour. All this should be offshore. It's not to say we won't see more develop, but that's fairly unlikely right now. Venice getting some moderate to heavy rainfall. Northport, you're in the clear as far as any significant rain goes, but there are some showers back behind that moving through Hardee and DeSoto counties. We'll keep a watch on it. We'll keep a 30% chance for a few evening showers in. And there goes Gordon. It's now down to a tropical depression, but we have a bigger storm, a major hurricane in the Atlantic we'll talk about coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
Bob, thank you. You'll soon notice an increase in anti-drug ads on social media and television. Drug-Free Manatee is starting a new media campaign to emphasize National Recovery Month. It features a heartbreaking but hopeful journey of 4 people in recovery. The campaign will try to encourage those suffering from substance abuse to seek treatment. The ads will start next month and will air through the new year.
The U.S. Coast Guard is cracking down on illegal charters off of Florida's Gulf Coast. It's all part of a week-long initiative. All St. Petersburg Coast Guard boat crews were sent out on patrol with an investigative team. The operation was called in response to increased illegal charter activity in the area. Over the week, officers responded to 6 reports of potential illegal operations.
Happening tomorrow, 4 new Sarasota County school police officers will be sworn in. From 3:30 to 5 p.m. you can attend the ceremony and then meet the people who will be protecting your children. It's all happening at Tatum Ridge Elementary School in East Sarasota.
In just a few minutes, the Northport Neighborhood Watch will be meeting to discuss the criminal activity that may be trending in the city. They'll be talking about where and what criminal activity is happening and answering questions about what you should look for in your neighborhood. Northport PD will also feature a training simulator so people can see how officers are trained to respond to critical situations. If you've ever wondered how you would respond in one of those types of situations or just want to learn more about what the officers do for the community, you can go to that meeting. It starts at 6:30 at the Commissioner's Chambers on the 2nd floor of City Hall. Today, a federal judge heard argument in a lawsuit that would require 32 Florida counties to provide Spanish language ballots and other materials to Floridians who can't read English. That includes here in Manatee and Sarasota counties. Both supervisors of elections in Manatee and Sarasota counties say they'll comply with whatever U.S. District Judge Mark Walker decides after hearing hours of testimony on Wednesday. The plaintiff arguing that English-only ballots violate the Voting Rights Act. Ron Turner, Michael Bennett, supervisors of elections for Sarasota and Manatee counties, say it's nearly impossible to make those ballots dual language by November, like the plaintiff is asking.
You know, we're down to roughly, 60-some days. In 45 days prior to the election, I have to mail out the military ballots. Okay, so that means I've got to get them to the printer at least 2 or 3 weeks in advance. So I'm literally out of time.
Right now, to accommodate Spanish-speaking voters, both counties say they have bilingual poll workers. Also, voters are allowed to bring someone with them to the polls to assist them if needed.
Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, the first step to an island-wide renourishment project on Longboat Key is now underway.
If their space floods, they're not going to park there, and it rains every day, so we're in big trouble.
And how construction in Sarasota is causing a bigger issue for a senior living community.
Many websites selling medication may look professional and legitimate, but the vast majority of sites selling prescription drugs are doing so illegally. Criminals use websites to sell counterfeit medications that may contain life-threatening toxins. Dot Pharmacy is a website verification program that helps you identify safe and trustworthy online pharmacies. Purchasing medicine online can be safe and easy. Just look for pharmacy to the right of the dot in website addresses.
Judy here, I think hospice was a tremendous source of support for her.
Absolutely. With Jennifer and Kimberly and Liza's constant contact with us, coming in, just knowing that there was someone with knowledge there to back us up, to answer our questions, it made a world of difference.
My California Closets designer is a rock star. She was able to design the most beautiful space for me. When I turn the lights on, it's breathtaking. La! It's just a little slice of organized heaven. The California Closet team was so professional, so reliable. It was seriously a dream come true. My name is Jill, and this is my California Closet story.
If you think it's hot outside, just wait until you see even hotter savings inside. Only at Rugs As Art Hot Summer Savings Sale event will you find the lowest prices on a vast selection of stunning rugs, furniture accents, and accessories. This special event only happens once a year, so hurry in before the best selections are gone. The Hot Summer Savings event ends soon, so don't miss out on the best prices ever. Rugs As Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
It's hard to see when you're outside at night. It's time for the Atomic Beam Sunblast, the new solar-powered light that's super bright. Atomic Beam Sunblast lets you add a light anywhere, and the atomic solar panels charge the built-in lithium-ion battery quickly. Then the 180-degree motion sensor turns on the light when you get near and automatically turns off when you disappear. Look, here's a best-selling outdoor solar light, and here's the super bright Atomic Beam Sunblast. Get the super bright Atomic Beam Sunblast for only $19.99. But wait, call right now and you can double your order and get a second Sunblast, plus our best-selling Atomic Beam flashlight. Just pay a separate fee. That's 2 Atomic Beam Sunblasts and the Atomic Beam flashlight. Call now.
Call 1-800-431-6640. That's 1-800-431-6640. Or visit mysunblast.com. So call 1-800-431-6640. Order now.
Longboat Key is bringing back the sand, 30,000 tons of it to be exact. It's a move to renourish the north end of the island.
ABC 7's Jackie Kelly talked with Longboat Key's Public Works Department to find out how this $1 million project will help in that effort. Jackie?
Scott, Jacqueline, I'm here in front of the North Shore Public Beach Access Point, which will be closed for the next month due to this renourishment project. Longboat Key's north end is no stranger to beach erosion.
That particular part of the island is highly erosional. There's what's called a reversal zone where the currents split in 2 directions, so it's just an area that experiences a lot of erosion.
Director of Public Works Isaac Brownman says last time this piece of beach was renourished was in 2016. He says while things like hurricanes can impact erosion, it's not the main cause.
The town is in the process of permitting through the state additional structures to add in those areas to help lock the sand in a little more.
Brittany Havner, who is an office manager at Century 21 just down the road from the renourishment site, says she believes bringing in more sand is a good idea, especially with red tide plaguing the shores.
All these animals need places to nest, and adding more sand is only going to help their cause, especially again with everything that's happened.
Along with that, she says it will be beneficial to the real estate business.
Everybody wants that beautiful white sand beachfront property.
But Brownman says a nice beach view isn't the only perk of this project.
It is very important to the residents, both for the aesthetic component, but also the sand provides a barrier and from storms and other things. So it does provide some protection from shoreline activity.
Now, Public Works tells me that this is just a quick fix with an island-long renourishment project happening in either 2021 or 2022. They say for now, beachgoers should use the Broadway Public Access Beach Point. Reporting live in Longboat Key, Jackie Kelly, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Jackie, thank you. And it was a storm we all remember about a year ago that probably caused some of that sand to disappear.
Yeah, eventually it came up here and caused that problem. But, you know, right now it was 220 miles east-southeast of Barbuda, that small island out there in the Caribbean. And it had winds at 185 with gusts up to 220, a Category 5 major hurricane. And it was heading toward Barbuda, unfortunately. For us, we have had a storm, Gordon, move on by quickly. It's, for the most part, just a tropical depression now, still causing problems for Florida, though. The Panhandle got hit the hardest with the heaviest rainfall falling in the northwestern portion of the state. Now, the Vailways of webcam showing these showers moving on through some pretty heavy rainfall at times, and it looks like that should be over in the next 10 to 15 minutes at Siesta Key. Well, there goes Gordon. It's still a tropical depression, 30-mile-an-hour winds, but notice the deep reds here on the infrared satellite imagery showing up over the Panhandle of Florida, and more out there moving onshore where they've already had about a foot of rainfall estimated from the Doppler radar site coming out of the Panhandle of Florida. And this isn't going to end for at least the next few hours, so more moisture will pile in and cause flooding concerns up there. For us, we've had these showers popping up in this dry air sector, but some heavy lightning occurring near Siesta Key, Venice, stretching southward down into parts of Inglewood at times, but for the most part staying away from extreme South County. You can see that lightning is still occurring outside the rain area, so although the rain is lessening in Venice, there's still the potential for some lightning back behind it, and Siesta Key just about to clear out of there. As we look at closer, you can still see some rain falling there, but as I mentioned, the next 5 minutes, 10 minutes, it's all going to be out in the Gulf of Mexico, so it should be improving for tonight's sunset, which happens just before 8 o'clock. There's another line of showers popping up here in northwest DeSoto County, pushing toward the west to southwest at 10 to 15. Not a lot in Manatee at this hour, but still, there's a chance for a pop-up shower or two, and we don't expect it to be around long. This upper level low you see spinning right here, this is going to be moving in on Thursday, and with it, it'll push this dry air out that's in place right now. That means a little bit more widespread shower and thunderstorm activity in the afternoon on Thursday and Friday. But for tonight, most of the rain will be over by 9 o'clock. We'll look for fair skies. It should be pretty nice for drop-off for the kids tomorrow and for the bus ride to school. And then the afternoon and evening, though, different story. Showers and storms developing. Some of those could be strong at times and pushing off toward the west, producing a lot more lightning around. And I think same can be true for, unfortunately, football Friday night. We're going to see a pretty good chance for some showers and storms working their way up the coast. Well, this is another major hurricane. In 24 hours, it's gone from a Category 1 to a 4. Rapid intensification, despite the fact that the upper level winds were strong throughout this region, at least indicated by the satellite imagery, but it must have found a little hole in that, and so it's really intensified into a Category 4 storm. And you can see the winds now up to 130 miles an hour, moving to the northwest at 13. Now, day 5, there's a big spread here. That's because the forecast models are suggesting that high pressure may build over the top of it and push it more in a westerly course. In fact, if you take a look at some of the forecast models, this is the UK Met right there we saw in the last frame, has it moving more toward the west. This is the European model showing Florence developing and staying as a strong Category 3 or 4 hurricane here on Tuesday of next week, and then moving on in toward or close to Virginia and the Northeast. These other systems out there in the Atlantic tend to move off into the open waters of the Atlantic, but this one could be concerned in about 10 days from now. It's a long way off, a lot can happen, but it still bears watching with Florence. It's not done yet. As far as boaters are concerned, east winds turn to the north. 5 to 10 knots tomorrow, so a light chop on the bays and in the waters. You just have to look out for those afternoon and evening storms. Thursday, a good chance for more storms in the afternoon. These are all afternoon variety of storms right through Saturday, a little bit better chance, but Sunday it drops down a little bit. And that's simply because some dry air that slips in on Sunday and Monday. We go back, though, on Tuesday and Wednesday to those afternoon and evening storms. So summer not quite over yet. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. The flooding after heavy rains at a busy Sarasota intersection is impacting the seniors who live nearby. Last week, we showed you how construction at US 41 and 10th Street in Sarasota is causing that intersection to flood. Well, now those who live at the Jefferson Center nearby say they've lost property and have noticed an increase in mold.
I think our biggest concern is our residents, of course. We had 4 people that have fallen in the parking lot, water up to our knees, and it's just been quite an unusual year.
Residents there say they're a low-income community and cannot afford the costs that come with water damage.
A piece of history in Inglewood is on the move. The historic Green Street Church and Museum will be relocated from its current location on West Green Street to its new permanent location at the Lemon Bay Cemetery next Tuesday. Due to a mix of zoning, lease, and parking issues, the 89-year-old building needs to be moved in order to preserve it. The building itself will be put on beams and then physically moved with a truck on September 11th.
Approximately 3 hours at walking speed. Well, everything inside the church has been laid out on the floor. It's been secured. We're told that the move will be very gentle. No windows will be broken, nothing damaged, and we trust that.
The total cost of relocation is around $200,000, money that was raised through grants and donations.
New fitness stations are up at Coquina Beach, paid for with money earned from beach concessions. The stations include separate activities for a variety of exercises, and all are located close to the water and sand to maximize health and fitness while you're at the beach.
Well, this could be put to some good use if you're out there.
Yeah.
Well, stay with us. When we come back, we have more details about a playground on the Suncoast.
Tonight, after a raucous start, can the president's pick to replace the swing vote on the Supreme Court fight off his critics and earn confirmation? With stakes this high, World News Tonight with David Muir is America's most watched newscast.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call, and you cannot be turned down for any reason. Even if you have health problems or are living on a fixed income, guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance policies could work for you, with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. TruStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
My mom didn't have life insurance and the cost all fell on me. And that's expensive. We're still paying for that.
Yeah, we're still paying for that.
Call 1-800-218-4991. Now, in one phone call, you can help prepare your family with protection amounts up to $25,000. There are no medical tests or health questions. And remember, you cannot be turned down for any reason. In fact, TruStage policies are already protecting over 18 million Americans. And rates are designed to be affordable, starting at less than 32 cents a day. That's as low as $9.40 a month. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease.
When I leave, everything will be taken care of for them.
Call 1-800-218-4991 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TruStage offers plans to fit your budget with prices starting at less than 32 cents a day. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TruStage. Call 1-800-218-4991 now.
Attention, do you have Medicare? Do you want to make sure you have the most benefits and lowest possible out-of-pocket costs? You may be able to lower your out-of-pocket costs and get dental, vision, and prescription drug coverage included in your plan. Call the Medicare Coverage Helpline now to find out what you deserve.
Hi, I'm Dr. Jason Buchwald. Over 3 million people have called the Medicare Coverage Helpline, but there are still many people who don't check to see if they're eligible for more benefits and lower out-of-pocket costs. It's so easy. One simple free call could save you money and get you more benefits. Be smart. Call the Medicare Coverage Helpline now.
Call now to see if you may be eligible to lower your copays and get extra benefits, including dental and prescription coverage. Don't delay. Call to see if you're able to save money and get more benefits now. Call 1-800-711-7200. Again, call 1-800-711-7200 now.
Army National Guard soldiers serve to give back to their country and their community. Their part-time commitment qualifies them for benefits such as health and life insurance, education benefits, and retirement and VA home loan benefits. Visit NationalGuard.com to learn more.
Are you worried your child is getting a little too much sun at the playground? Well, now you can worry a little less. Starting tomorrow, you can grab some sunscreen and bring the kids to Nathan Benderson Park. That's where brand new sun protectors have been installed, allowing kids to enjoy the Florida sun just a little longer and enjoy that playground with some nice shade.
Shade is important
I like those things. Those are very nice.
I know. They come in handy sometimes.
You sure do.
Kids and the parents.
Yeah, we have some shade right now with some showers, cooling things down across parts of the Suncoast. In fact, Siesta Key, all the heavy rain over, but there are some showers developing to the east thereof too, near the Golf Gate area. You can see that one line is pushed on through Venice and Siesta Key, and then there's a little pop-up shower still hanging around, but most areas should stay relatively dry this evening.
Okay. Thank you, Bob. Thank you for joining us. World News Tonight with David Muir is next.
We'll see you again at 7 and 11. Have a good night.
Picking out a new ceiling fan? That's a do-it-yourself. Installing your new ceiling fan?
No.
That's a don't do it yourself. For ceiling fans, rewires, or anything electrical, play it safe. And call on the trained electricians from your locally owned Mr. Sparky. It's no accident that so many of our customers are repeat customers. Trust Mr. Sparky for all your electrical repairs.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Dotoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
Our overall experience working with California Closets was phenomenal.
Calm, reassuring.
Through happenstance, we ended up paired with our designer, Jen. She was someone who not only was patient, someone who was professional. She's become extended family.
She had great insight to help direct me towards those things that could make our dreams come true.
We are the Greens, and this is our California Closet story.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Gettle's got what you're looking for at Gettle.com. 17 new car brands, over 1,000 used vehicles, prices and payments you can afford. Credit help if you need it, and they pay cash for your old car. Plus, Gettle Pre-Owned Certified Plus means buying with peace of mind. Need service? Gettle's got that too. Gettle's got it. Visit Gettle.com.
My life motto is keep moving. And as hard as it was when my husband passed away, I knew I had to keep doing what I love. Oops, coming. But I needed help with my insurance, and that's what the NAIC provides. They have resources to help you and your family make the best decision, and they'll help you to keep moving forward, just like me.
You know, fortunately, this was my first job out of college, so I was able to come back home and work in my hometown. I wore 2 hats. I was sports director and I was a news anchor. I did that for a few years and then decided to go full-time into news. Well, I love our team here at ABC7. We have a great mix, and it really is a great mix of personalities, of experience that meshes really well into a really strong team. I'm Scott Dennis, and I'm here for you.
I'll be right back.
Hi. You think you're probably sober?
Yeah.
But you're thinking about taking the back roads home, just in case. If you're probably sober, then why would you do that?
thanks.
Good choice.
Probably okay isn't okay. If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
That's a full glass of wine. I'll be chatting you later.